Welcome to my video. To get new educational videos and updates, please subscribe to my channel. I'd be very grateful if you could please like and share this video, which I hope will give you a beneficial knowledge. A 69-year-old very anxious female with high hypermetropia, shallow AC with small pupil, floppy iris on the obsession for high blood pressure. You can see the movement of the eye and the incisions. Usually I do it more anterior. I decided to use Malyugin Ring because it is quicker than the hooks, and I usually use the 6.25 millimeter. The most important thing is to inject cohesive OVD under the edge of the iris and filling the AC as well because it is very shallow. And by using song manipulator with two-handed technique, we inject the ring slowly, and you can realize the patient is moving her eyes and her head. And usually I engage the distal scroll in the inferior part of the iris and try to engage the two horizontal scrolls on the edge of the iris as well. As shown here, and with the help of the manipulator I pull the proximal scroll and put it on the edge of the iris and engage it as shown here. Then you can centralize the Malyugin ring on the lens to help the other steps of the phacoemulsification. It is the same technique as shown in previous videos, so in these cases I prefer to stain with trypan blue, and I put the OVD on the cystotome so as not to go in and out of the AC, which is already shallow, and then you can inject if you feel that the AC is shallowing. And every 3 clock hours I usually inject a little bit of cohesive OVD as shown here, and I usually use the shearing forces of the capsule. Then we finish the capsular axis. With the hydro dissection I make sure that all the OVD is outside as well. Then you can use any technique of phacoemulsification. You just make sure with the last piece that you have second instrument, second blunt instrument like the dry still, and you can see here the AC is very shallow. Then irrigation aspiration with the bimanual technique. And you can see that the ring is very stable throughout the phacoemulsification steps. Then injection of cohesive OVD in the bag and in the AC because it is very shallow as well. After implantation of the IOL, I don't remove the OVD. I usually inject more OVD in the AC for removal of the ring. I start removing the ring with the thumb manipulator from the side port here, disengaging the proximal scroll slowly without damaging of the iris border as shown here. Then I go with the injector and take it with the injector, then unfold the ring, and with the help of the manipulator you can disengage the horizontal scrolls as well while pulling of the ring outside, and the manipulator can help to counter press on the iris border not to damage the iris during pulling the ring. Now the ring is free and you can go outside the AC. Then removal of the OVD from in front and from under the IOL. You can see that the iris border doesn't have damage at this stage, and removing all the OVD will prevent any pressure spike post-operative. I usually inject dexamethasone subtenuous at the end. Then these patients are given steroids hourly for 1 week post-operative. Then we hydrate the wounds and injection of the antibiotics, and you can realize here that the iris is rounded. And this is at the end. Thank you for watching.